What's up, guys? What's going on? I'm Paul. This is Pauline Theology's Daily Devotional, man. Glad you're back. Glad you're listening. As we're going through the book of John, we're on the final two verses of chapter 12. We are finishing Jesus's ministry to the public, and we will be in his intimate relationship and speaking and teaching with the disciples next. So that's going to be good. If Don't miss this. Don't miss it. It's going to be great. But don't miss this. Don't miss that. What we're about to get into. But don't miss this, man, because this public ministry is what we need to hear as well, as we are either coming to know him more, seeing who Jesus is towards everyone, and then just trying to understand his purpose and his plan for the world. And we are part of that purpose and that plan, man. And we've seen that. We've seen Jesus in this last speech kind of reiterate all the things that he has been saying from the very beginning of the book, from John's prologue, where he's explaining and talking to us about what he's about to present, and then seeing Jesus actually carry those things out. And then finally, Jesus speaking and saying the very thing that he has been demonstrating his entire time through the book, as he has been having his public ministry, street teaching, and all of that, man. So I'm excited, man, as we finish this up and head into the next part of the book. If you haven't read it yet, go ahead and check out John chapter 12, 49 through 50. See what I say, come back, and we'll answer the 4 questions. If you've already read it, man, we're going to jump into the questions right now. The first question is, what's going on? What's happening? Well, Jesus finishes his statement. He says that I don't say anything by myself, man, but the one who sent me, my Father, he has a command that he gives me, and whatever he tells me to say, I say it. He says, I know that this is his commandment, life everlasting. He says, therefore, just as my Father speaks, I speak. Just as the Father say, I say. And so what Jesus is saying here is that everything that he says is exactly a perfect representation of the Father. And not only that, but he says what it is that he is speaking, what the Father commands him to speak. And this commandment is also the idea of not just a command, but more like Torah, which means instruction. That what is Jesus supposed to instruct us with? And that instruction is life everlasting. How to find life everlasting. His purpose for coming to this world is so that we might find life everlasting. And he says, so whatever the Father says, that's what I say, man. So what does this mean? What does this say about God? What does this say? That God desires for us to be in relationship with him, because as we've read through the book, we understand what life means, what life eternal is. It's obviously what it means is that we live forever. It means that we will never die. And Jesus says, I'm the way, the truth, he says that I am everlasting life. We find life without end in him. But this life without end is not necessarily on a time frame, but a quality. It's not a quantity. It is, but we see that it's a quality. It is the type of life that we live. And that life, that quality of life that we have, is because it is wrapped up in the midst, in the presence of the triune God. That is the instruction that Jesus has come. That is the command the Father has given him, that we might know him, that we might know the Father, that we might know the Son, that we might know the Spirit, that we might be wrapped up in this relationship. As they share, we share in the persons of the Trinity. That's life. That's the purpose, man. And how awesome is that we get to be a part of it. So what is this saying about God? Is that he desires to be with us. He desires to be. It also says that everything that Jesus said is a representation of the Father. So as we look at who Jesus is, we see the Father. As we look at Jesus, we see the Father. What does it say about man? Is that our purpose is to have relationship with God. That is our purpose, man. That God has, and the reason we know this is because God has carried about so much in order for that relationship to take place. In order for us to be in relationship, things had to get done, and he did them. So that means our purpose, man, the reason that we're here is to be in relationship with the Father, man. See the depths of what Jesus, the Father, and the Spirit are doing in order so that relationship can be restored, man. That right there in itself, man, should want us to desire us to do that. Like all the steps that Jesus took, all the things that the Father accomplished, everything that the Spirit is working in order for us to have this relationship, man, should demonstrate to us how important and how loved we are. So not only is our purpose to be with the Father, our purpose to be in relationship with the triune God, Yahweh, but also that we are loved. Remember those things. And so the application, man, is to remember those things. Ruminate on those things. Today, the action that I want you to take is to receive that life. Take in that love. Understand our purpose is to be in relationship with him and rejoice in that. Find peace in that, man. Because that's the only way that we can find peace, hope, joy, and love. It's true peace, hope, joy, and love is in relationship with the Father. Man, we are through with that section of the book, and we're about to start into a wonderful understanding as disciples and followers of Christ, what it is to be. And if you're not a disciple or follower of Christ, man, I encourage you to take that step and trust in him. And as you do, you'll see the beauty of the world open up. Now, things ain't going to be easy. I ain't going to tell you that. But you will find joy and fulfillment because you'll find it in the one who brings joy and fulfillment in all things. Hey, I appreciate you guys for listening. And I'll see you in the next episode.